here from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and welcome to my weekly live chat. Hi, I'll give you a second to come on and join us and get comfy. Grab yourself a warm beverage. It's kind of chilly out in a lot of places for those of you who are watching me. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you join me regularly, welcome back. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and today I have something slightly different. We're going to talk about what I do to prep for growing indoors for wintertime. Yes, you can grow outside during wintertime depending on where you are and depending on if you use row covers and things. Hey there, David. Thanks for joining us. David at Patriots Rabbitry. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Is joining us tonight. Hey, Jolene, thanks for joining me. So for those of you in warmer climates, hey, two Davids tonight. Everybody welcome and thank you. And Inga's here as well. So usually before I get to the meat and potatoes of my video, I like to share the updates and what's going on at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So I just recently announced new arrivals for 2023. There was so much awesomeness that it took not one, not two, but three different announcements so that we could get everything all in one. We have the back in stock for 2023 and we've got two for new arrivals. So I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, I'm pretty sure that takes us to about 850 varieties of heirloom seeds for 2023. So that's pretty exciting. In the description section of this video, you will find a link to my comprehensive planting guide. I refer to that every year. Now, recently I've been talking about adding and updating that comprehensive planting guide. And since I've used it for so many videos and so many tutorials, and I've referred so many of our customers and our friends growing to that, hey Jill, thanks for joining us. I'm going to use the same Mary's comprehensive planting guide that I put together for this year. I'm going to use that and I'm just going to update it. Hey, Alan. So if you are looking for new information, some of the new tutorials that I've shared this year, hey Monica, I'm going to go ahead and add those and they'll probably be sent out in an email this weekend. Fingers crossed, because it's been a little crazy here, which is why I'm prepping and not actually showing you what I've already planted. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up for my video. So today we're going to talk about prepping for indoors. If you don't follow me on other forms of social media, you may not realize that we've been really busy getting ready for 2023. We've moved all of the 2022 seeds from the regular racks to the side racks here, and we put these up special for our school garden donation program. That is so important to me. So that took a little bit of time getting everything moved over and all the new stuff put up. On top of that, I have a sick kitty. We have 4 cats. You've probably seen the tiny kittens that we've shared, but my old cat is sick. So we've been kind of struggling trying to keep her on an even keel, and today she's doing really well. So fingers crossed we're on like the upward swing here. And that's why I didn't even plant anything yet for my video. So I'm going to talk about, hey Linda, thank you, I appreciate it. And thank you, David. I think she's doing much better. We've got an amazing vet who's been really helpful for us. So that's part of what I'm going to do tonight, actually. Not during the video, but as soon as I'm done, I'm going to be planting catnip and I'm going to be planting catgrass. And I'm going to share with you why I'm growing some of these things and how I'm going to do it. And that's just a very small part of what I'm going to do. So Inga says, I'm so glad she seems better. Fingers crossed. Again, we're doing all the natural and everything we can, honestly. And she's not, anyway, I won't get into that. We're going to talk about growing indoors. But first we have to prep. So there's some things that a lot of people don't necessarily realize if you want to grow indoors. Yes, you can grow in a sunny windowsill. However, if you don't get enough light and you don't get enough direct sunlight, using an alternative light source is important. So last year, I went live. Actually, I take that back. I think it was in January of this year. I went live on our Facebook page and I showed you the different light options. And of course, baby Jojo, my big fat cat, join me to share with you all of the different light options that we use. So this is a grow tent. And I also have to say that not everybody has the room and not everybody has the space or the funds for a grow tent. This is something I use for my seed starting, not necessarily year round, but we do start a lot of seeds and this really helps. You don't have to have this, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So if you want to grow indoors, you want to take a look around your living space. You want to see a suitable area that gets an adequate amount of light. If you have a bay window, those are the ones that go out. Sometimes that is a better option. Let's see. Jill says, thanks. So glad she's doing good. Thanks. Christian says, hello, Mary of Princess Mary of the Gardens. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, everybody. So the problem with growing in, Christian had just made a comment about growing succulents. It is too cold in some windowsills. So that, again, if you're growing in wintertime, growing in a sunny windowsill still may not work. For those of you that get snow, maybe you don't have a lot of sunlight. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of that as well. And that's why I use a tent. But there's some other tricky options that you can use that might work. So if it's a sunnier time of the year, if it's a warmer time of the year and you have a place to do that, you can use a sunny windowsill. For greens in particular, 5 hours is the bare minimum for growing greens indoors in a window. But again, not everyone has that type of light source. And leafy greens, like I said, they can grow well. You can pretty much grow them year round. And you need direct light or a good light, or you're going to need a grow light. And I don't have my grow light set up on this rack right here. This is a 6-tier rack that we use. I do have a light over here that's much shorter. And I've showed you that already. But I can't turn on the light while I'm live. Otherwise, it flashes you and blinds you, and then you can't really see what I'm talking about. Hey, Krista, thanks for joining us. So leafy greens grow really well. My mom's coming to visit pretty soon. It is right now, the temperature here in East Texas, we're in Ben Wheeler, is 30s to 60s. So at night in the 30s, it was 29, I think, the other day, maybe last night even. I'm not 100% sure. So a lot of stuff is done for in the outside garden. So indoors is now where I'm going to get started. There's still a lot of things growing out there that are frost tolerant. Kale, collards, beets, radish, the cooler weather crops, some broccoli sprouting, some onions, things like that. Those are doing well. But maybe you're in an area that is covered in snow and you don't have anything growing outside, or you don't necessarily want to. There's row covers, all that you could do, and that's not what we're talking about today. Hey, Spartacus, that's all right. Thank you for joining us and welcome. So if you want to grow indoors, I'm going to share with you a couple of options. But first, I want to share with you some precautions. When you start indoors, you want to start with clean containers. So I have a tray back here. You can see it. It's a very long tray. That's one option for you. Some people use these 6-cell germination trays. You can rinse them out. You can wipe them out. You don't necessarily have to scrub them. Monica says, if it's going to be 48, should I bring my green beans inside? Probably not. We didn't lose plants out here until it was 32 degrees here. So 48 should be just fine. David says it finally got cold here, 70, 80 degrees the other day, and now 25 to 60. Yep, that's exactly where we are at. We're swinging anywhere from 29 to 62, I think, was our high today. So there's still some stuff growing. Another thing you can do, say you don't like using plastic. I have an option for you, and I wanted to share that. You can use glass containers. So if you don't like using these plastic trays, you can use glass. And here's a tip for you. You don't have to go out and buy expensive or brand new glass. You can go to your local thrift store, your local, any kind of secondhand store, and you can buy glass containers. These aren't gardening containers, but this is so easy, and you can buy it for relatively cheap, and this can go in the dishwasher, or you can just wash it in the sink and it's good to go. And that way, if you do feel strongly about not using plastic with your food, glass is another option. It's an awesome option. So there's another option you have here, and this is something that we carry in our shop. These are just little teeny tiny trays. We don't sell these separate. We sell these as cat grass kits, and that's what I'm going to be growing this weekend for our cats. It is, you can either use oat grass, we sell the seeds, or you can use hard red wheat, and we sell those seeds as well. Now, since I have all of your attention, I'm going to share with you a very special discount code. Are you ready for the discount code? This is very special just for our customers that are watching our live video tonight. The discount code is microgreens. That is one word, and I'm going to spell it out for you. MICROGREENS. Microgreens, all one word. That's going to take 10% off of every single item listed in our sprouts collection. So those are seeds for sprouting, those are seeds for microgreens, those are kits. We have I don't know if we have the cat grass kits, but I will check it out. Cat grass, interesting, need plants that automatically scratches my cat. Sorry, can't help you with that one. But I grow, you could call it microgreens. I grow cat grass, and the cats love it. They are indoor only, so they get a little fresh greenery there that way, and they really enjoy it. So I will be growing cat greens. It's literally a bag. Kristen says awesome, was just looking to start microgreens. So I'm going to share with you microgreens is next. First is cat grass. So you got a little teeny tray, and humans can eat this as well. It is, you ever go to the health food store or the smoothie place and they're selling shots of wheatgrass? It's wheatgrass. It's literally grass grown with wheat seeds. So there are several different ways that you can grow microgreens. So I'm going to start with a coconut coir mat, because this is what we carry. We actually carry this mat in our cat grass kits, and also just the mat itself. You can cut the mat to fit whatever you want. It fits one of these large, I think it's 10 inches by 20 or 10 by 21 inches of the long trays here. So you can grow it small, you can grow it big, or you can cut it to fit whatever container you're using. So this is one of several growing mediums for your microgreens, for your sprouts, for your cat grass, whatever you're growing in your indoor garden. You can grow this outside, but tonight we're specifically talking about growing indoors, and I'm going to be using my tent. So Christian says, grows from the mat like a chia pet. Exactly. Those chia pets, they're pretty much exactly the same thing. It's microgreens, and chia is, you can grow that for a microgreen as well. The next is a compressed coconut coir brick. Now we carry these in two different sizes. You see the big one here. Just for the purpose of this video, I don't usually use these in a plastic bag, but I did want to share with you what it looks like. This is the small coconut coir brick. And it's not even all the way, it's not all the way puffed up, so I need to add more water to this. And this is a gallon bag. So this is already a really big amount. It's a big brick. You can feel it's not even completely filled up. But these are compressed coconut coir. I like coconut coir because it is a more eco-friendly option than peat. It is something that doesn't necessarily take as long to grow than peat does. And then the other option you can use is a combination of coconut coir and soil. So totally up to you what you want to do. I prefer, depending on what I'm growing, I prefer the coconut coir by itself. Now for the cats, I use the mat. It's really easy, it's really simple, and I don't have to worry about any mess with the coconut coir that's compressed that we reconstitute with water. This one, you can literally take this and chuck it in the compost bin when you're done, and it's eco-friendly, it's biodegradable, and you're good. I love using the coconut coir for starting my seeds. I think I still have a brick. That's the great thing about the coconut coir compressed bricks. They really bunch up to a lot. The bricks we have here, I think I used one and it was like a half of a 5-gallon bucket, or not quite. How much feet of actual soil do you have in raised beds with coconut coir too? So all of my raised beds outside, we're not talking about the outside yet, but I can answer that. All of my beds outside are 4 foot by 8 foot, and they're 12 inches deep. And it is a mix of a raised bed mix and coconut coir. How much of that? I don't know exactly. Krista says, do you have to add anything to the core like fertilizer for microgreens? No, you don't actually, which is pretty awesome. Some people, if you're growing leafy greens for a longer period of time, they will add some type of liquid fertilizer after the fact. But growing microgreens, I have never used fertilizer. Now, you may have some people that say they use fertilizer, and I don't have a problem with that. I just don't. I like to keep it simple. Really important for me to keep it as simple as possible with everything I juggle every day. I want to make sure that I keep it as simple as possible. So let me go over a couple of the basic tips for growing indoors. Number one, I mentioned earlier, is keep your containers clean. Every time you do a new batch, I use a clean container, and I don't throw it away. I wash it out, use a little bit of soap, scrub it out, make sure it's dry, make sure you don't have any soap residue in it, and you're good to go. Keep your soil moist. So if you're using the coconut coir mat, or whether you're using the actual coconut coir brick, you can do a couple of things. You see I have a handle container up there. I use that for water. I fill it up and I'll water the bottom of the tray. I won't dump it over the seeds. I'll just do it on the outside of the tray so that I keep my soil moist, or my growing medium so that it doesn't dry out. That's the fastest way to kill your seeds, is allow it to dry out. And then you also want to, if you are using a light, it's a good idea to have a timer. You can go to a hardware store and they sell, it's a little teeny square timer. I have one back there, and that way you know how long your lights are on. If you're juggling a lot of things in your schedule and you don't always remember to turn the light on, setting a timer for it, whether it's 5 hours or 8 hours or 13 hours, however many hours you set it for, it's really nice to not have to remember one more thing. So that is one of my tips today, especially if you're growing indoors, is spend the extra couple dollars and buy the timer. I can tell you from experience, I have forgot a couple times, so I really do enjoy that timer. And then lastly is, I found something over the weekend that might be a game changer for some of you. If you don't have the space, like you don't have a grow tent or you don't have a closet to use, I can't just grow my greens on the kitchen counter. We have the 2 tiny kittens. They're not very tiny anymore, and they get into everything. And I want to make sure that I get something that I'm growing as well. So that's why I use a tent. However, there was a light that I saw that is an under the counter light, and it's a specific grow light, and I don't know who makes it. I'm really sorry, I didn't remember. I should have grabbed a picture of it so I could show you. But it literally is a 12-inch long light that I'm pretty sure it plugs in, and you can stick it underneath your kitchen cabinet or your bathroom cabinet or whatever else you want to say. Yeah, so for those of you that follow me on my personal page, and you'll see I post a lot about the tiny orange kittens that we rescued at like 10 days old. They lost their mama, so they're tiny terrors. So that light is really cool, because if you don't have a light, a good light source in a windowsill, maybe it's too cold in your windowsill, there's a little light fixture that you can put underneath your kitchen cabinet, and it will give you a good source of light to grow something inside. You can grow lettuce, you can grow microgreens, and I'm going to tell you one of my favorite microgreens is onions. Have you ever thought about growing microgreens like an onion, but not as a full onion? It's just a microgreen. So I was experimenting earlier this year. I had some older seeds that obviously I'm not going to sell, but I keep them for my personal stash. So I thought, well, why don't I try growing some microgreens, because it's good. Christian, yes, if you set your timer to turn it on, it will turn your light on and turn your light off at specific times. So microgreens were my just kind of a light bulb moment, like, hey, I got these seeds, why not? So if you look at marysheirloomseeds.com and you go to the sprout section, By the way, if you are looking to purchase some microgreen seeds or sprouting seeds, use the discount code microgreens at checkout, and it'll save you 10% off your order of sprouting seeds or kits, whatever you decide to purchase. So the microgreens I grew, they are ready to harvest in 10 to 14 days. It was one of the most delicious microgreens I added to our salads. And I thought, well, you know, an onion, that's going to take 85 to 110 days before I can get an actual onion. But if I can grow microgreens in 14 days, that's definitely a game changer. It doesn't have the strong onion flavor to it as a whole onion, but it was delicious. It was perfect. You can add it to stir fries, you can eat it raw, or you can cook it however you want. It was delicious. So that's definitely one of the things that I will be starting in our tent. The other thing I'm going to be doing is, see if we can do this without spilling the bowl. Radish seeds. We sell radish seeds as well. And I will tell you, the radish sprouting seeds we carry are Japanese daikon radish. So they're nice and spicy, and you don't have to wait the 55 or the 60 days. You can grow them as a microgreen. You can grow them as a sprouts. Now, a couple things to mention. The sprouts are usually something I grow in a jar. You're rinsing, draining, and they're ready in about 4 days. The microgreens are a little different because you typically use some sort of growing medium. Doesn't have to be soil. It can be the coconut coir mat. And they're usually growing a little taller, and you have a little more volume to your microgreens. So that's something, again, it's listed under sprouts. You can grow it in a sprouting jar. You can grow it as a microgreen, whichever you prefer. A couple things else that I'm growing are some greens. Because I do have that nice big tray there, I'm going to start a couple of small tiny lettuce, like Little Gem lettuce, and a brand new one we have is the Little Caesars romaine lettuce. I'm going to grow some lacinato kale, and I'm going to grow those first in the little teeny 6-cell germination trays, and then I'm going to grow them a little longer. So this one is going to be microgreens and a couple of starts for greens, and then this side I have a larger light, and that's where I'm going to be having a lot of my larger greens. Once they graduate from the little teeny containers, they're going to go over to the big containers. So that is my plan. That is my goal. Fortunately, we are caught up on seeds, so I have a little bit of time to spend in my grow tent and out in the garden. I have a couple pounds of garlic that still need to be planted, so I'll be doing that as well this weekend. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed my video tonight. I will not be live next Thursday. It's Thanksgiving, so I'm going to spend the day off. I get a couple of good solid days off during the year, and Thanksgiving is definitely one of them. I will be giving thanks for everything we have and everything that we have accomplished here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds here, and enjoying the time. Inga, how much do the grow tents run? I don't know that answer, unfortunately. Sorry. So they come in all shapes and sizes. You can get one as small as I think it's like 2 feet by 2 feet. Hey, Shirley. Jolene says I use solar blankets to surround my shelves to make a grow tent in your basement. See, there you go. You don't even need to buy the tent. If you don't want to, you can use the solar blankets. That's a fantastic idea. Now, a couple things you can do. Inga, you asked about the cost, and honestly, I don't know. I've had this for years, and I don't remember where we got it or how much it was. But they make all shapes and sizes. You can get a really short one that is like big enough for a tomato plant. You can get one that's tall, that's like as big as maybe a closet, like a hall closet, or you can get one a little bigger. This is a 4-foot by 6-foot rack. So this is just one size. So this is a very big one. When I first started growing indoors, I had a very small tent. I didn't have something like this. So now that I have a little more space, we've got this set up and transferred over. So it's really nice. Okay, so I think that's it. If you have any questions, please reach out, send me an email. My name is Mary. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. In the description section of this video, you will find lots of helpful information. David at Patriots Rabbitry says, have a happy Thanksgiving. Going to be working on our new homestead property. Awesome. And David says, good luck, David, and good luck, David. Thanks, guys. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your growing. If you're sprouting, send me some pictures. So since I won't be live to show you all this information, I will most likely post some pictures, or I might actually just film a video and post it to my YouTube, because I haven't done one of those in a little while. That way, at least you can see some of our progress of growing indoors. Thank you for joining me, and everyone have an awesome weekend, and happy Thanksgiving.